you can see that this was the project overview, that we are using the two different objective, lithofacies classification and seismic facies classification. And in seismic section, we will be also considering the stratigraphic classification. And the this is why we use the deep learning over the machine learning, that feature extraction and classification can be done from a deep learning neural network. So uh, this was the problem statement, like we can use the deep learning over the machine learning, because it can provide feature engineering and automatic feature extraction in the oil and gas industry, and we can develop a customization for automated correlation of wells to find the areal extent of the facies or the reservoir. So for the same purpose, we have two different objectives that we can say in a wider picture, that first one is to classify and automatically detect the lithofacies using the well log data, and the second one is to develop a customization for automatic seismic facies classification. And the technique used, that Zach has already told you, that different deep learning neural networks with Python. So you can see that this is the convention, uh, generic well log wiggles, and this is the seismic section. So this is the seismic section, and how can you interpret that here is the fault, here is the anticline, or whether you can predict the direct hydrocarbon indicators. So the timeline that we considered in our project was starting from June 22, and today is August 8, and this was the phase one, in which we considered the data collection, desktop survey, model building, and testing accuracy. And in the second phase, we considered the experimentation, deployment, and feature engineering. Right. So this was the before presenting my project work, I will just tell you that what were the techniques that we used. We used the convolution neural network, recurrent neural network, and simple artificial neural network with the help of TensorFlow and Keras. TensorFlow, from the Wikipedia source, you can see that is the definition of TensorFlow, that it is a free open source software library for data flow, differentiable programming across a range of tasks. It is a symbolic math library and can be used for machine learning applications such as neural network. And Keras is a high-level neural network API written in Python and is on the top of TensorFlow, Theano, C, and TK. So this is a basic neural network ANN model, artificial neural network model, in which we present some of our input features, and some of the there is a processing like activation, optimization is carried out in these hidden layer, and we get our output. Like if we consider that we have a cat or a dog in an image, then it will predict that. So this is the probability that this is the cat and this is the dog, right? So ANN, a simple stepwise working, that first we initialize the weights, and it is initialized in a random manner, and then we input the first observation of our data set. This is the first observation of our data set, and we input, this is the input layer basically, and there are, you can see that there are four neurons, and features are uh, incorporated into the first layer, and then forward propagation from left to right. From left to right, the process is called feed forward network, feed forward neural network, and this is done for the first epoch. And then after getting some error, we try to perform the back propagation by updating some weight, and there are some and there are many formula for the theory purpose. So this process is repeated for many times, and to get the good accuracy, to reduce the loss function, and to get the better performance. So this is the CNN. Why we use CNN? If we have a picture, and how we can identify that the object is a dog, or a cat or a bird, then it's a multi-layer convolution neural network that performs the processes inside the hidden layer, like pooling and max pooling, average pooling, padding, and so on. And then it will give you a prediction that, so this is the probability of a dog and this is the probability of a cat. And RNN, why we use RNN? RNN is basically a recurrent neural network, and LSTM is long short term memory. So basically what it does is that it whatever the input is given to the first layer, it squeeze these inputs, and then again the memory is relocated for the next hidden layer, and again the output for the upcoming output for the previous input layer is saved for the upcoming input layer. So this is very used technique in the deep learning algorithm, and it basically used when we face the problems in CNN or in ANN. So so now what was the data set that we used for the project? The data set that we used for the project was from the University of Kansas.
Sorry, Vivek.
Yeah.
Can I ask for a few lines? Sir, you said something about whether we are going to detect a fault or a structure, or we are going to locate it as well. Actually, we shifted from 1D CNN to 2D CNN. Now we can detect where the fault is in the image.
Good.
Yes.
So as Zed has told you in earlier phase, so it will be quite easier to understand. So in the well log, we classified the 9 lithophases, starting from the non-marine sandstone, non-marine core siltstone, to the algal baffle stone. So the logs that we considered in our model was gamma ray log, resistivity log, photoelectric log, neutron log, and average neutron density and porosity log. So what are the steps for the can you see my screen? Hello?
Yeah.
So,
yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, sir. So this is the approach towards the sequential model. So let me show you my notebook. This is the notebook that basically tell you about the different neural network that we were dealing with this first objective. So before that, we tried to import the required library like TensorFlow, Pandas, and these.
Vivek, we can't see the notebook right now.
Is it visible? No.
We can see the PPT, but not the notebook. Reshare the screen if you can. So can others see the notebook, the Jupyter notebook?
No.
Okay.
You just need to shuffle it.
Okay.
Go to just go to Reese present, and then you would find that notebook open, and just click that.
Okay, sir. Sir, is it visible now?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. So before going on with this first objective, we try to import some of the basic libraries like TensorFlow that I have already explained to you, NumPy, Matplotlib, Pandas, and learning scheduler.
Yeah, Vivek, you had already shown it in the last presentation.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
please,
sir.
carry on further. Yeah.
So this was the data visualization part, and we created wireline wiggles for for the well sampling, and then we try to plot the histogram, and it basically tell you that sandstone is the data of sandstone is around 259, and most of the data are from the fine siltstone. So we try to plot the cross plot of the for the different well logs, and it directly uh, indicate that which lithology is that. So again, then we normalize the data, and we try to split the data into 15% data validation, and then we try to create a sequential model. This is the first model. Basically, we try to create 3 different models, and this is the first model, and basically it deals with a simple dense layer with 1024 neurons and using the activation function like ReLU, and it is basically the rectified linear unit, and it will just show you the values from 0 to 1. And then we try to compile the model, and then we try to fit the model with different epochs, and it is showing 100 epochs with learning rate of 2e to minus 4, and this is the categorical cross entropy because it is dealing with different lithology. If we have a simple binary classification, then we will use binary cross entropy. Like if we want to classify whether it is a dog, whether it is a cat, so it will be a binary cross entropy, right? So then we plotted the history, and it is showing a smooth curve with accuracy of 81%, and we try to optimize the losses that we faced using some of the good optimizers like RMS Proc, Adam Delta, and then we tried the next model is convolution neural network sequential, and again it is a 1D convolution network because it is dealing with the depth only. So we try to plot, we try to generate the training loss and validation loss for the same, and it is around 67% accuracy, and losses you can see that it is very smooth curve. So it is also predicting the same value, same lithologies. And then again we use the RNN recurrent neural network for the third model, and it is a simple RNN with input shape 118, and it is also showing a good result after compiling and fitting the model. And we try to train this with 350 epochs, and it is showing 66%. If we try to use this model in our GPUs like Google Colab or Kaggle, then it will obviously show a very good accuracy of around 80%, because you can see the graph, it is very smooth, and it is showing a plateau part also. So then we tried to predict the faces. Then we imported the Panda again, and the arrays Y unknown and X unknown sequences. For the sequential model, because we have 3 different models, so 3 different prediction will be there. These are the array basically for sequential model, then for the CNN convolution neural network model, and then for the recurrent neural network model. So this is the well data finally that we used for the validation purpose, and this is faces sequence, faces CNN, faces RNN, and then we predicted our model with 3 different faces sequences, which is CNN and faces RNN, and you can see that this lithology band, you can see that this is indicating the best result, faces CNN and faces apart from faces sequential model and RNN model. So this is for the first objective. Moving towards the next objective. So these were some of the outputs that we generated from our Jupyter notebook. So this is my prediction. You can see using different algorithms for different models.
You can minimize that, Vivek. Just
Sir.
click the -1.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, fine. Yeah, just let me see.
So this is for the.
Show me the other one.
Okay.
Yeah. Tell me what on the left side you are saying there are the prediction models, right?
Yes, sir. This one that I already showed you.
The green one. Okay. So
yes,
you are saying Faces CNN is the best result you are saying getting, right?
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me why?
Because, sir, it predicted, because it is a 1D convolution neural network, and we have used a very long network of around 1024 neural network, and we have used some of the dropout layers also, flattened layer also. So it gave us the good result apart from the RNN and sequential model.
Yes, more the numbers of neurons
Because we have
according to the
increased the
weights,
network.
more will be the
And
accuracy. Yes.
and we used the best optimizer like Adam, and we tried to give a very long epochs, long iteration. So it took a lot of time, and then it predicted a very good result of faces, of the 9 faces, different faces. So shall I move to the next presentation? So this is the seismic faces classification, and this is the second objective. So here is the seismic section. So how can you predict that? How can you identify basically that this is the anticline? Just you need the basic of geology, that this is an anticline, this is the fault, this is the salt dome, intrusion, and can you predict the direct hydrocarbon indicators like flat spot, bright spot? So let me show you my notebook again for this very see my notebook now? Okay, sir. So for the same purpose, we used Google Colab because it has very good GPU, inbuilt GPU. So for the same, we used the convolution, but this time we used the convolution 2D. Okay, and with ReLU activation function, and basically we try to we try to optimize the losses and optimizes the performances by changing different activation function, by changing the network, and by using the max pooling. We can also use the average pooling, and we can also use some of the dropout, like we can drop some of the layers and we can move to the next layer. So it will give you the best result. For the same purpose, we use 238 images, different images, and we try to classify them in 4 classes like anticline, syncline, fault, and salt dome, salt intrusion actually. So for the same purpose, we use the image data generator, imported the image data generator, and we tried to perform the data augmentation because we had very less images. So we tried to data augmentation basically deals with increasing the images by flipping the images, by shifting the images. It can be a horizontal shift or a vertical shift, or we can tilt the images so that it can produce some different types of images. So it is the data augmentation, and then we try to schedule our model with a learning rate 1e minus 5, and it gave the accuracy of around 80%. And we tried to you can I will show you the what was the output. You can see that it predicted that this is a salt dome. You can see that this is a salt dome. It predicted that this is a salt dome, and it also predicted that this is a fault. and actually I can see manually that yeah, it is a fault. Yeah, it is a fault. So it was a nice prediction actually. So as Akhilesh sir told us that can we identify, can we pinpoint exactly that this is a fault? Can you just mark this that this is a fault, this is a salt dome when you are dealing with a complex seismic section? So just like it is showing the anticline and a salt also, because it is a salt intrusion and it is forming an anticline part also. So we have two different questions. Can you mark the feature in the section? Can you work with multiple features including the sequence stratigraphy? And can you add some DHI also, direct hydrocarbon indicator also? So yes, I can use YOLO V3 for the same, and let me show you my Polar notebook for this very purpose. I've used the YOLO V3. YOLO, the full form of YOLO is you only look once. So it is an algorithm that uses the convolution neural network for the object detection. So you can see that this is a picture, and it identifies that this is a dog. This is a person standing there, and this is a horse. By using some different training images, and it will some of the data augmentation it will also use. So we tried to build a YOLO V3 object detector with darknet in the cloud. So this is the basic thing, and after we used our CNN network. Was the basic tutorial that I started before doing this project. Uh, so this is the weights that we get from the iteration, different iterations. So you can see that we try to iterate it for around 2000 epochs, and it took a lot of time. So we used the Google Colab, and it predicted a very good result. Like you can see that this is a seismic section, and fault, that there is a chance of fault. There's a chance that this section contains a fault, and it is showing a probability of 85%. Some of the minor faults are also present, so it marked with a probability of 12%, 74%, anticline of 99%. So this is the seismic section that it predicted that this is the anticline, this is the fault. So let me show you my PPT. So different sections that we used from different sections that we took for the same testing purpose. So this is showing that this is a salt intrusion and some minor salt intrusion. It also predicted with the accuracy of 43%. And then another seismic section, you can see that it is a salt intrusion and a syncline over here. And 94% probability of that there is a fault in a different seismic section. And in a different seismic section, it gave you the result of salt, that this is a salt intrusion and this is a minor syncline. So we can also predict for, actually we tried 10 features for this objective: anticline, syncline, flat spot, fault, salt intrusion, on-lap, off-lap truncation. These are basically the seismic sequence stratigraphy that it predicted very well. That this is the on-lap sequence that indicates that on-lap, off-lap, that indicates the transgressive and regressive marine environment. So it also predicted the same. You can see that this image, this section is consisting of truncation, off-lap, and syncline is also present, and some minor fault it also detected. So now, can we use this technique for hydrocarbon detection purpose? So yes, we can use. So direct hydrocarbon indicator is an anomalous attribute value that uh, that predict the presence of hydrocarbons in an oil or gas reservoir, and it reduces the geological risk of exploration well. So this is basically the flat spot. There are many DHI that can be used from the software also, like bright spot, flat spot, dim spot, and basically bright spot indicates that there is a presence of gas reservoir, and flat spot basically tell you that this is the flat indicator, fluid indicator actually. So it will tell you that there is a fluid, and it can be oil, gas, and water based on the densities. So it's predicted that this is the anticline, and flat spot features were also trained in this YOLO V3 algorithm. So it predicted that this is a flat spot, and there are chances that it is hydrocarbon, presence of hydrocarbon is there. So I can conclude my project review that we can select different neural architecture, and we must have some prerequisite knowledge of Python and deep learning model actually, and we can use different optimizer regularizers like L1, L2. There are many type of regularizers, and there are many optimizer that can be used to uh, can be used when we encounter the challenges like vanishing and exploding gradient descent. Actually, vanishing gradient descent is basically when you're when you are back propagating with your uh, updation formula using weight updation, and in back propagation sometimes the weight gets very less as same as the weight that was previously maintained. So it will just the same, and there will be no any weight updation if we are using the vanishing gradient descent. If we are facing the vanishing gradient descent, and exploding is the inverse of the vanishing gradient descent when we encounter the weights with very large values, and it will and these two gradient descent problems will never converge to the global minima, and it will not be able to optimize the losses. So it is the best technique to use the RNN also, and sometimes the CNN also, to get good accuracy with least loss function. So lithology detection and seismic interpretation for structural geology, sequence stratigraphy, and direct hydrocarbon indicators are some of the important tasks for a petroleum geologist. And we can also use YOLO V3. YOLO stands for you only look once. It's a very good choice that when we are dealing with a real-time detection with a loss of too much of accuracy. So here comes the references for the literature review that can be downloaded from the ResearchGate website for seismic phase classification for deep neural network, convolution neural network, and Monte Carlo. These were some of the papers that can be used before starting this projects. And thank you so much. Thank you for your attention. Sorry.
Thanks, Vivek, and thanks, Dad. It was a very good presentation, and particularly from the topic, it was one of the most interesting topic we had. And going for from the industry perspective, it is a very useful concept which you are using, and definitely a lot of work has been came as a positive result, particularly from that feature identification purpose, and the way the accuracy is managed and accuracy is obtained at the end of the day. So it should form a basis for a bigger project in which we can focus for a particular objective to identify for any particular petroleum related identification feature, and with more accuracy and more predictable with different kind of data sets, right? So using the same technologies in the background. So that would be a very good exercise to go forward. Good project.
Yes.
The,
So
Much, sir.
actually, yeah, the if this project is already like continued in future, the next step would be the interpolation of those well data.